All right, friends, welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time you've been here, check out some of the other videos on the rest of the channel. You might find something to interest you. We're gonna build a welding table to set up in the shop back at the farm. So for the basic structure of this thing, we've got some 2-inch angle iron, 1/4-inch wall. No, that's 3/16 wall. And some 1/8 wall, 3-inch rectangular tubing, along with a few lengths of 4-inch square tubing as well. So I was able to source all this square steel here for free. By saving all the money on the materials, I was able to kind of put all that money into the tooling. So what we've got here, we've got a piece of 1-inch square flat steel. I'm gonna try to incorporate that into the top of the table, but here we've got a Yost Vice, a couple of Jorgensen's. This thing's got like 1,000 pounds of clamping force, smaller one, a bunch of strong arm clamps. This is the Max Power, available from Amazon. A couple of welding angles, and those magnets. I think these are rated at 2,000 pounds for the set of casters. You can see the way those casters are kind of held in there with just these little screws. I kind of wish that these wheels were a little bit softer. They seem a little bit hard. I'm afraid they may be a little brittle, but supposedly 2,000 pounds. And then we've got the ability to screw that down and set it on uneven surfaces. And then that brings us to this bad boy. So picked up the dual bevel Evolution metal cutting saw. So I've never had a miter saw and kind of been meaning to get one, but I was on the fence about getting the dedicated chop saw from Evolution that would cut a much bigger hunk of steel. There's lots of videos out there. I'll recommend you to Farmcraft 101's video showing him cutting through a railroad. But in my case, I've got the, in my case, this tool comes with the multi-purpose blade, which enables you to cut steel, PVC pipe, pretty much everything. Steel, aluminum, wood, plastic, okay? There are countless videos of reviews out there on this particular saw. So once we get this thing up and running, we'll actually, we put it through its paces and get some usage on it, we'll actually make a little bit of a review about that. But that's just the overview of what we got going on here. It's probably gonna take me several days to put this thing together, and we're gonna be using the Lincoln 185 dual power MIG welder and this bad boy. And it's gonna be kind of my first big fabrication job I've done in quite a while. So stay tuned and check it out. Just figured I'd capture a couple angles of it before I scratch it all up and get it all nasty. Brand spanking new, really nice. Still got a ways to go. I got to build all the reinforcement structure for the in between the legs, but it's just kind of mocked up right here. But yeah, dude, got a little fabrication station going on here, huh? Got it done. I got a couple more welds maybe to do on it, but and some more wire wheel cleanup to do before I can paint it. But she's practically constructed and pretty freaking stout. All right, so we got it all cleaned up with mineral spirits. Got rid of all the loose oils or anything else that might have been on there. We're gonna shoot it with the paint and primer. Hopefully these two together will give it a nice coating. And what we're gonna do is just avoid shooting the top because the whole top will be stripped with the stripper. So just gonna spray paint down the side, insides, sides, and the entire rest of the whole table. And then we will finish the last bit. Should be stripping off the top, mounting up the vise mount. All right, guys, so here we are, finally pretty much completed with the welding table project. So show you a quick overview of it, and the only thing that's left really is I need to load it up onto this trailer, take it down to the pressure washer, and clean off all the dust and a little bit of the flaked off paint that kind of got stuck to the new paint from what I cleared off. Other than that, it's fully painted. Got the bench grinder on here. This is the larger 8-inch wheel bench grinder. I got this Yost 350 Vice, which I've been pretty happy about so far. It's got some pretty cool features. You can rotate it, and got this idea from YouTube, but the whole purpose of this design of a welding table is so that you've got a space to put all your work clamps. These style work clamps here, all the way across, all throughout. And instead of installing the new miter saw on the table, I'll probably just use clamps, maybe pick up 3 more of these little guys, and that way it can be clamped into whatever position I want. Got these awesome casters from Amazon, 2,000 pound rating, and they're designed to twist down so that you can set it on uneven surfaces, and it just keeps it from sliding around. And I think that's probably what bears the weight of 2,000 pounds. But it rolls pretty dang nice. And decided to weld on this one last little hunk of steel here, just so that I'd have a nice little flat surface with a little bit of an overhang there. So all of this steel came from Salvage, from an airport hangar door that had collapsed. and they replaced that door. So all this steel was sitting in a scrap pile, and I got it from the fella and put it all together. And we've got the top surface here sanded down smooth with a 3M pad, and then I left all of the original paint that's been on there for probably 60 years kind of as a base layer to act as a primer essentially, and just shot it with some Rust-Oleum, a couple layers of black. But I wanted it designed like this so that you've got space to have a chair to come underneath here, and I left it kind of in this fashion here with only welding the sides and bottom. I left it flat here so that I could leave room for potentially a shelving system in here, drawer system or something, and I wouldn't have to grind off those welds. But yeah, pretty stoked with it. Let me know what you guys think. We're just about to start our first job here with it, and we're gonna install that toolbox on the V-neck trailer of the trailer here. So it's quite the little project we got ahead of us. The temperatures are just above freezing, maybe right at freezing today, so the sun coming out shining on us. Hopefully we can get this thing knocked out. I'm gonna make another video about the Evolution metal cutting saw, but I did have to buy a new blade for it. I bought a new Diablo for it because the other one did not really last through this project. So if you're interested in that video, check out the link over here. And I elected to use fluid films. First time I've ever used this stuff to keep that sanded, polished top surface shiny and protected from corrosion. Seems to go on pretty well, and seems to, do as it describes, is make a nice film on there. So hopefully that holds true. And of course, this is the 180 dual amp Lincoln welder that accompanies the table.